This is the voiceover to finish the previous episode. In the next episode, we will move on to analyzing the profitability of your revenue. In the last 2 episodes, we set up revenue for the basic subscription and added a cloud service cost of sale. Now, in this episode, we are going to use the sales profitability view to read what those assumptions actually mean in practice. And then we will make one deliberate change to the cost type to show just how sensitive the model is to that single decision. From the sales section, click the revenue stream tab. You will see the basic subscription card showing its key summary stats: target customers, average conversions, and price. In the top right corner of the tab, in the top right corner of the card, there are 2 icons. The pencil icon takes you to edit the assumption. The bar chart icon takes you directly to Sales Profitability Dashboard. For that stream, click that one. The page loads with the sales profitability chart at the top, showing revenue and profit plotted together over time. The 2 lines are very close to each other, which is a good sign. It means cost of sales is a small fraction of revenue, and the gap between what comes in and what gets spent on delivery is very narrow. Scroll down below the chart. Scroll down below the chart and you will see the detailed monthly breakdown table. This is where the real story lives. For each month, the table shows items sold, which represents how many basic subscriptions were actually sold that month, revenue per sale, which represents the price per subscription, cost of one sale, which represents what it costs to deliver a single subscription, profit per sale, which represents revenue minus cost per unit, gross margin per sale, which represents the percentage you keep. Below that, you get the aggregated view. The total revenue, which represents all subscriptions combined, cost of one sale, which represents the total cloud service cost for the month, gross margin, which represents the overall marginal percentage for that month. In this example, sales starts in September 2026 with 1 sold item. Revenue per sale is £23. Cost of one sale is £3. Profit per sale, £20. And the gross margin per sale is around 87%. As the month passes, the volume grows. 2 subscribers in October, 4 in November, and so on. The gross margin stays perfectly flat, around 87%. That's because the cost type is per paying customer. The model charges exactly £3 for each active subscriber, so the ratio between cost and revenue never changes. This is the behavior of well-structured variable cost. Now look back at the chart. The revenue line and profit line are almost on top of each other throughout the forecast. The gap between them is thin and grows in proportion to revenue. That's the signature of high-margin software product. Cost scales with sales, not ahead of them. Now let's deliberately change one assumption to see what happens to the entire picture. Switch back to the Assumptions tab and scroll to the bottom of the page where you will find the Cost of Sales section. Expand the Cloud Service row and click the Edit icon. Right now it shows cost type per paying customer. Change this to per user. This means that £3 cost now applies to every single user each month, not just the ones who are actually paying for a subscription. Click Update Cloud Service Cost. The model recalculates instantly everything. Let's switch to the Sales Profitability Dashboard and look at the chart. It has completely transformed the profit line. Let's switch to the Sales Profitability Dashboard and look at the chart. It has completely transformed. The profit line has dropped sharply below zero and keeps falling, reaching around £97 by February 2027 against revenue of just £92. The product is deeply loss-making at the per unit level. Look at the table to understand why. In September 2026, with one paying subscriber and £23 of revenue, the cost of one sale is now £69, not 3. That's because there are approximately 23 signed users in the system that month, and the model is charging £3 for each of them regardless whether they pay or not. A single paying customer is bearing the hosting cost for 23 people. The gross margin per sale is September is minus 200%. By October is minus 102%. In the cost summary at the bottom of assumptions, you can see the 5-year total has gone from $399 a year to over $700,000 in year 2. By year 5, it reaches 1.2 million compared to 70,000 under the per paying customer model. Same price, same user base, same revenue, one word change in the cost type, and the cost base increased by 18%. Same price, same user base, same revenue, one word change in the cost type, and the cost base increased by 18 times. This comparison illustrates one of the most important decisions you will make in this section. What drives your cost? Per paying customer is the right choice when your cost only activates for subscribers who are generating revenue. For example, a cloud platform that only spins up resources when a user logs in and pays. Per user is the right choice when your infrastructure cost applies to everyone in your system, whether they pay or not. For example, if you provision a dedicated environment for every single sign-up user from the moment they register, the choice isn't arbitrary. It reflects your real cost structure. Getting it wrong, saying per paying customer when your actual spend is per user, means your gross margin projections will be overstated and your cash position will be worse than your model shows. This is exactly why the sales profitability view exists, to help you catch these differences early before you are in front of an investor. For this example, we will revert back to per paying customer, the correct assumptions for our cloud setup, so the model returns to its 87% gross margin. The recap in this In this episode, we use the Sales Profitability Dashboard to analyze the basic subscription stream, read the relationship between items sold, revenue, cost, and margins, and then test it what happens when the cost type changes from per paying customer to per user. The difference is not subtle. It's the difference between an 87% margin product and deeply unprofitable one. In the next episode, we will zoom out from the single revenue stream and look at the expenses. In this episode, we use the Sales Profitability Dashboard to analyze basic subscription stream, read the relationship between items sold, revenue, cost, and margins, and then test it what happens when the cost type changes per paying customer to per user. The difference is not subtle, it's difference between an 87% margin product and a deeply unprofitable one. In the next episode, we will zoom out from the single revenue stream and look at expenses, operational costs, salaries, and hiring plans, so that together with your sales and cost of sales, you can start to see a full P&L style view of your business.